Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this amazing series. I'm Aditya. In this series, we are creating a headless e-commerce app using Next.js and Garchi CMS. So without any further ado, let's begin with today's video. Okay, so in the last video, we created the add to cart functionality where on our products page, if we go over here, we have the add to cart button which just adds product to the cart. So if there are options, but first it shows those options, we select the options and that goes inside a cart. If there are no options, it just adds the products as it is. But if we add the same product, either by same option or with no option, it increments the quantity. If the products are different, it's added as a new product. So that's what we have so far. Now here I've created the product cart page, or rather the cart page. Now I already created the code for it, or I've done the code for it. So I'll just guide you through the code line by line. Okay, to begin with, we start from this part, which is our nav cart component inside our cart component. There we have our cart icon in the nav bar. Now all we need to make sure is we are wrapping that component inside a link component that's come with next link. Now this next link allows you to navigate within your app or externally as well. So if I pass the href as /cart, so whenever we click on it, it will just take us to the cart page. So if I go to home again and then from here or from any page, and if I go to cart, then it will just take me to the cart page. So once this is added, we go to our cart page, which is inside our pages, and then cart.js. So inside our cart.js, we have the meta component, which is just our SEO tag component, having those meta tags inside the head component. And we have a title component coming from Adirani DS React Tailwind package, which just sets the title for our page. So here I'm just passing some extra classes of text center and font semi-bold to make it in the center and slightly bolder. And also just making sure that the size is H1s, like the bigger size title, the biggest size title. Then we have the cart table component that is coming from our own components directory. And the cart table component, if you notice, is lazy loaded. So I just eager loaded it before as well to see if it does any difference to the chunk size. And it does, because when you lazy load a component, this thing is loaded separately. So the actual cart.js size can be reduced to a certain extent. So table component, I'm sure like currently it's just minimal, but further you have more things to add in it. Maybe you might want to add discount, or you might want to add certain extra functionalities, or you might want to do certain things inside those cart table component. Or if its size gets bigger, then it's best to lazy load it so the page loads faster. Now after that, once we have this thing set, now let's go to the cart table component, which should be inside over here, inside the components, cart and cart table. So in that cart table component file, or rather that cart table.jsx, you will see there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components. Cart table is one component, like that's the main component, and then you will see the cart footer component, then you will see the cart item attributes component, cart row component, cart body, cart header. I'll go through them one by one. But why we have so many components? The reason being, I'm using here table component that is coming from Adirani DS. Now that component expects 3 props. One of them is optional, 2 of them are like required. So header and body is required, footer is optional. So in the header, we just need to pass the component that will be rendered as a table header. Then we pass the body, which will be rendered as the body, like any component that will be rendered as a body of that table component. And the footer, if we have any footer, that will be rendered as a footer of that component. Now if I go to cart header, it's a simple row which just shows the heading of our table. So all these tr, th, and td tags are components. They are coming from this React Tailwind package, Adirani React Tailwind package. Now this is the header: item, quantity, unit price, and options. So that goes over there. Great. Next we have the cart body. So cart body will represent right from here till here, whatever is selected. So that will be our cart body, each row. And if I go back over here, you'll see I'm passing a prop, which is cart display product, and we are just mapping it on each cart row. And our cart row is gonna be nothing but a simple row tag or tr tag having a tr component. It's gonna map to tr tag at the end. So tr component having each td or cells in that. So we are just mapping it over here. And if you notice, I'm having here prop as cart display products. While if you remember in the last video, we created a context, which is a cart context. I'm not passing the context or using the context as it is. The reason being, this cart context or this cart value from this context is gonna have product ID, product name, quantity, and selected attributes. It's not going to have the price. So we will need to get the price of products, multiply it by the quantity, plus if there are any additional attributes costs. In our case, if you're selecting attributes for, let's say, this one, this product or this item, then there are extra £4 to pay because we are selecting certain attributes over here. So all that we need to do and calculate the subtotal. Now, how to do this? Or first, how to get the price of the products? Well, it's pretty simple. What we need to do is first, inside our cart table, we will first get our context. So that's here. Then we have our display cart or cart display products. And then we also have our cart subtotal. So we have two use states and our own one context. That's great. Perfect. Now we will have a use effect hook. Now what is this going to do is, as soon as the component is mounted or as soon as our cart is changed, then this hook is going to run, or this function is going to run. It will first check if our cart is empty. If it's empty, it's just going to return. It's not going to bother to go forward. But if our cart contains certain items, then it will follow every step line by line. So first, we will need the product IDs. Why we will need product IDs? Because we will need to make a call to an API, which is list products by list of IDs. So what does this API does is it's a post request. It takes in the list of product IDs, like, or in simple word, array of product IDs, and whatever product IDs array you have passed, it will give you the list of only those products or the details of those products. So its schema is very similar, like the response schema is very similar to list all products. So here we are getting like the product ID, everything, and rather I can just show in the console, not here, this one. So if I just do this, so you'll see like the schema is pretty similar to what we get in the list all products. The only difference is, as this thing is not paginated, because we are just getting some fixed amount of products. So in that case, it's not paginated. So you will get the direct list or whatever product list you have asked for. So we have the product ID, SKU, name, and also the price. Now you will say that we just need the price. Why we are getting all other details? Like, they are not needed. But the problem here is currently, or rather till today's date, we don't have an API which just gives you the price of the product. So in that case, we just need to get the list of the required products and just use the list by IDs API. But over the period of time, we are planning to add API which will be only giving you the particular details of the cart items. So let me know in the comment section what are your opinions are or what are your thoughts are. But definitely we will be working on a separate API for the products which will give details regarding the cart items specifically. So that being said, let's go back over here, and we just need the price from this list of products. So how are we making this API call? Well, we have our own API over here, which is get cart products. So I'll just minimize this, or rather reduce this in size. Great. So we have our own API get cart products. This our get cart products API is going to make a call to our Garchi API. Now the reason we are doing a server-side call is just because we just need to make sure our token is not exposed. So in that case, we'll be making a server-side call. We will be making a post request to products /by IDs. The base URL and everything are all put in our API.js over here. So over here. Now, once we receive the list of products, we will first, like, we need to transform that. So how we are going to transform it? We will say, okay, we just need the ID and the price of the product. So in that case, we will map through each product. So over here, we will be mapping through it. Once it is done, we will just send back the mapped product, or rather the cart products, which are mapped from the products.data. So once that is sent to our cart table, which is over here, what we need to do now is, also we need to get the unique IDs before making the API call, because we will need the list of IDs. So first we will map through our cart items, get the product IDs, and then use the set to get the unique IDs. This way is a bit like I'm a bit reluctant to use, but I'm not sure why did I use it. It's just that it's not really performance efficient. Like I could do it in one go over here, either with for loop or just like in the map only, just making sure I'm adding the unique values or sending the unique values. So in any case, like actually map, yeah, for loop would be the better idea over here. But anyways, so once we have the unique product IDs, we are making the local API call, which is over here. That's just for our local API over here, which is just our own API, not the Garchi API. But again, it's on the server side at any cost. So once we are making the call over here with the list of products, then we will get a response. And inside that, first, we need to map again through our cart items. Okay. So for each item, we will find the required product from the product that we have got through our API, or from the list of products that we have got through our API, and we will match it with the required product ID. Now, once we have the product details, the required product details, we need the price of that product. And also we need to calculate if the product which is inside the cart or this cart item already has any attributes. Now, when we are adding attributes, at that time, we are also setting the attribute price. So it won't be a problem. Now, next thing is, okay, we start with 0. So let attribute price be 0. So first we check, okay, if that cart item has attributes. If it has attributes, we go back, we go inside this loop, not go back, we go inside this loop. And then here we say, okay, for each cart item's attributes, we use the reduce function. Now, I have a separate video on JavaScript map, filter, and reduce. So if you are new to this concept, please do check that video. But in general, what reduce does is it gets through each element of your array, and it just does or runs a function and gives you a unique value or one single value. So this reduce, it's going to make a sum of all the attributes price, and it will return as a value. Now, the parameter it takes in is the function and the initial value. So initially our sum is going to be 0, and once we keep on adding it, at the end we are going to get something which is going to be like, so the current item, the previous sum plus the current selected options. Then we again reduce the current selected options again, because the sub attributes, so there are attributes, main attributes, and each main attribute might have multiple sub attributes. So for each sub attributes, we need to calculate the price. So we just calculate that price and add it in our sum and just return back. So once we have this, so we're just using reduce double. So it reduce inside a reduce. So once we reduced all of our items, then inside our map, which is this one, we will be returning again an item. So here we will have the cart item. So we will need all the cart item details. We just need to add 2 extra key values in that, which is price and extra price, which is the attributes price. So the price will go for the cart item, the actual price of the product multiplied by the item quantity, and the extra price will be the attributes calculated price. Now, once we have that, everything is done. We just set our display card with the value of this mapped cart items. Now, once we have that, we go all the way over here again. We pass it to our cart body, and not just that, we will need to display the subtotal. Now, calculating the subtotal is just a piece of cake once you have this display card. It's pretty simple. You again have a use effect which changes on this cart display products. You first check if it contains any items. If not, you just stop, you don't go forward. If it contains, you do the reduce function again on cart display. So what you do is you reduce it, or you run the reduce function starting with the 0 value, and you keep on adding it for the price plus the extra of each item. And then you will get a final subtotal that you set using our use state and simply pass to our footer, to our cart footer, which is this component over here, which is just rendering our like the footer of our table. Now, if I go back over here to our cart page, you'll see all those details are displayed over here. So this is how you can have the cart page. So this is just one of the way. Actually, I'm sure there are multiple ways. So let me know in the comment section which way you have used for rendering your cart page. Thanks for watching this video. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you feel this video is worth sharing, please do share with your network. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. So see you in the next video. Till the next time, goodbye.